Well, we turn now to U.S. Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, a member of the Senate Intelligence Committee. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Ari.
What is important about these bills and what they'd accomplish, and why is Mitch McConnell blocking them?
Well, first of all, Mitch McConnell can put all of this to rest by bringing this key legislation to the floor. What I will tell you, having served on the Intelligence Committee for some time now, as of right now, I believe foreign hostile actors are going to make what happened in 2016 look like small potatoes in 2020. I think when you look at their capacity, for example, to interfere with voter registration databases, to hack social media, we have very serious threats, and I want to make sure that American voters, not foreign hackers, decide our elections.
Yeah, I mean, when you say that, it's concerning. What does that look like, particularly on the registration front? Your committee says they went after the voting systems in 50 states, but we've been appraised repeatedly of the idea that, well, they didn't change any tallies. So should people say, go ahead?
Nobody can really say that, Ari, because they didn't do what are called forensic analyses. But let me give you a very recent example. Recently, the entire United States Senate went to a classified briefing. It was a classified briefing. All of the experts in the Trump administration came. I can't get into details, but the whole message from those key officials was nothing to look at here. No big deal. We just don't have to worry. We're taking care of everything. Just a few days later, there was an exhaustive analysis indicating that thousands and thousands of outdated voting systems that were using Windows 7 were being used all over the country, and the characterization from experts were those systems were ripe for hacking.
You have now called the new intelligence pick by Donald Trump, Congressman Ratcliffe, the least qualified ever. What are your concerns about him, and where does that go?
Well, Ari, let me make a modification in that statement. He is very qualified to do great damage to the credibility of the intelligence system. If you look at all his conspiracy theories, he's got ideas for secret societies, for example. In the FBI, he thought there was nothing to the Mueller report. He said, in fact, that the Russians were trying to harm Donald Trump when that clearly wasn't the case. I mean, what the DNI, the head of national intelligence, is responsible for is collective intelligence analysis. He works with all of the agencies, and somebody with Mr. Ratcliffe's views can do a lot of damage to the credibility of American intelligence at a time when the world is a pretty dangerous place.
Yeah. I also want to get your views on something we mentioned at the top of the hour. We are learning about these contacts between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump, but we're learning about it from the Kremlin, not from the White House. Here's the Kremlin press service, I mentioned this earlier, saying the Russian president assessed a move about fighting wildfires on the part of the U.S. president, a guarantee of future restoration of bilateral relations. The Russian and U.S. presidents agreed to continue these contacts. How striking is it that as a country we're getting this only from the Kremlin, and does it concern you?
Certainly. I can't get into any details about these kinds of classified matters. But again, let's talk about what we know on the record. I mean, the Trump campaign was not straight with the American people during the campaign of 2016 with respect to the Moscow Tower project, where clearly there was an interest in trying to secure opportunities for the Trump family because they didn't think they were going to win the election. So I can't get into this breaking story, can't get into classified matters, but just look at what's on the record.
Very interesting, and sometimes in Washington, the people who know a bit more have to say a little less, but I have to put the questions to you. U.S. Senator Ron Wyden from the Intelligence Committee, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Ari. Let's do it again.
Okay, appreciate it. Now,